Hi, this is Darin Mangum. Thanks for subscribing to my YouTube channel. I'm starting to post a series of videos that cover common questions that come up time and time again that my securities law clients have when it comes to private placement offerings and securities offerings. And so hopefully you find these videos helpful. Um, one question that comes up quite a bit is which of the various exemptions should I apply for, and which one should I conduct my PPM under? And the two most common securities exemptions are 506B and 506C under the Securities Act, or Regulation D under the Securities Act. And so what I thought I would do today is just cover the differences, the major differences between those two exemptions. Those, again, are the most common ones that are being used today. Obviously, the new crowdfunding statute's a big deal. I'm going to talk about that in some future videos, but today we're just going to cover 506B and 506C. So stay tuned for future videos on some of these other topics. But yeah, so the difference between 506B or Bravo, for short, 506B and then 506C is the new exemption that was passed pursuant to the Jobs Act, right? So the 506B and 506C are the most common exemptions that are used today. Now 506B, I'll cover that first. In a nutshell, it's the same exemption that has been around for decades, as far as being a true quote-unquote private placement, meaning that you're offering the securities on a private basis to persons that you already have a pre-existing relationship with. And 506C, on the other hand, sometimes I say Charlie just to make it just to make a distinction. 506C is an exemption that now allows you to publicly advertise or solicit for investors. Now, and a lot of times it comes down to when a client asks me, well, which one should I do? I'll ask them, well, hey, it depends on how you intend to market the offering. Do you already have an existing group of investors that are familiar with you, that know who you are, that are ready to go? Or are you sort of needing to solicit and try to attract those investors using the internet or a crowdfunding platform to try to find those investors? And so it really, some of that has to do with how you intend to market the offering. Now, sometimes, investors, if you have an existing group of investors, you may want to go ahead and let those come in under 506B, because 506B allows you to have up to 35 non-accredited investors. And so if you're bringing in friends and family, small investors in maybe an initial seed round, maybe 506B is a good way to start. And then later, once you have maybe a website up, maybe you're ready to start marketing for investors, then you can turn to, say, a 506C type offering. Both exemptions require disclosure. Both require a private placement memorandum or offering memorandum, which I obviously do and help you with. But also, one of the key distinctions between the two exemptions is that a 506B offering allows the investor to simply self-certify that they are in fact accredited. And you can rely upon that representation. 506C, on the other hand, that gives you an additional burden, a compliance burden that you have to satisfy in order. You have to take what's called reasonable steps to verify that they're accredited. You can't just take their word for it that they're accredited. You have to get certain evidence that they're accredited, and you can get that in a couple different ways. Some clients get a CPA, a letter from their CPA that says they're accredited. A common one used is that you get copies of their tax returns that shows that they have a net worth or they have sufficient income to meet the definition of an accredited investor. So so again, when you're trying to think of which exemption to fit under, you sort of have to think about, well, how am I going to market this offering? And obviously, if you're going to be doing a 506C offering, publicly advertising for investors or cold calling accredited investors, you want to put some systems in place to make sure you've got, obviously keep a file for each investor, make sure you've got that proof that you did take those reasonable steps to verify that they were accredited, just in case the SEC ever comes calling. So anyway, again, this is just a short video just to sort of talk about the differences between those two exemptions. I'm going to be having other videos posted here over the next little while that I think that hopefully are helpful. And so, but again, if you have more detailed questions, again, you've got my number, 801-787-9072 is my direct line, cell phone. And so feel free to call me and we can talk through that. So anyway, hopefully you find this video helpful, and hope to talk to you soon. Thank you.